along with quite a few senior players. Guy Marcus, another. Colin Margits played a couple of senior games. So did Robert Newton, along with Peter Davis and Robert Martin. So the ball back for the centre bounce, and it's the Bay going forward again as Howard, not Howard, but Robbie Newton tried to get that ball out of the centre, and the free kick going now to North Hobart. So North go into attack through Patrick Cusick, down on towards the half-forward line. Here's a chance for Maple, stabs in towards goal, puts it through. So North, that's the first goal they've kicked for quite a while. They were pretty stagnant in that third quarter, not adding to their score very much, whereas Sandy Bay did all the attacking, and the scoreboard shows that. 18-11 Sandy Bay to North Hobart 6-8. And at this stage, we say good afternoon, Tony Morabito.
Good afternoon, Peter. Yes, you're right about North Hobart having a stagnant period. In fact, their supporters, you can see up there, haven't had much to cheer about since the second quarter, because it has been since the second quarter that since North Hobart kicked their last goal. Maple making a very long drought. That was his second, by the way. He kicked one in the first. There's the tap from the centre. Cusick coming away. He goes up over half forward from behind Coles, but Lovelock is coming away with it. He goes wide towards the outer wing. It's plenty of open space out there. Archer is leading in the chase, but they won't get there before the ball crosses the boundary line, so there'll be a ball in. It was a very entertaining game, incidentally, up until half-time. Scores at half-time were 9-7 to 5-5 with Sandy Bay in front. Of course, they've extended that quite a long way since then, but North Hobart seemed to stop. That was the reason. Fighting for it on the outer side now. This is Newton again, driving back up towards the centre. Lovelock. He plays on now, up over half forward with the kick. There's a high flyer. It looks like Howard. Good grab too.
My word, it was.
Howard started on the interchange bench. Has come on and played quite a good game across that half-back line. In fact, he's around his opponent now. Crow, that was on the mark. The kick is up towards the centre. Klein, the tallest player there in the middle of that pack. Handball's on now quickly to Garrity. Garrity further on to McConnon. McConnon drives up forward into the pocket. The man who had created plenty of space for himself up there was Martin. Martin, who's been in amongst the goals in recent weeks, had a very lean day today, though. Only one goal. He goes short now. The lead was on, and that's come off. So a chance for North Hobart to add their second goal in this quarter. This, if they can get it, will come from Craig Sutton. Sutton is about 30 metres out on about a 45-degree angle. And he looks to have hooked that one across to his left, 1 point only.
Yes, Sandy Bay didn't play well in that first half. North stayed with them, but the Bay really got their act together in the third quarter. And gee, with this side, they're going to be a chance in the final, because both Glenorchy and Clarence, who meet next week in the second semi-final, will have their senior sides in. There's the mark taken by Klein. Tony Klein. North still trying to lift. Margits in front. Lovelock up behind. He has it. Lovelock comes out with it, looking for somewhere to go. Gives the hand pass over here now, and the Bay are away through Stephen Spalding. Spalding comes back again, still battling. Davis was going in to help. They're wrestling for the ball. The whistle's gone. And a bit of pushing and shoving going on down there. Temper starting to flare. And it looks as though it's just about under control, I think. There's still two of them to break up. That's done now. And the Bay coming out with a free kick. And that will go to Spalding. Spalding right on that boundary line.
Spalding, another of the Sandy Bay players who was until quite recently a regular senior player, Peter.
Right. Now the chance for the Bay to get the ball moving. Coming out with it, looked to be Coles. Up over the centre. Here's North going forward now through Peter Roberts. Roberts driving it down in towards centre half forward. Margits has a bounce, has a look, a second bounce. Margits, will he go the hand pass? Waited till that last moment to shoot it out and got it out to Kelly Grace. Going through now is Anderson. North will turn it back looking for Klein. Margits up too, and Klein will get the free kick going against Margits. Tony Klein on the wing position, broadcast side. Down looking for Cusick. And the mark's being taken down there by Craig Sutton. Sutton doesn't waste time. Ooh, there should have been a free kick. But the mark's been taken at any rate by Matthew Martin. And it would have gone, the kick would have gone against Loveluck, I should have imagined. He threw himself into that pack trying to spoil. So, Martin lining them up for North's 7th goal. Goals have been few and far between for North in the 3rd and 4th quarters. Now, Martin moves in and is offline, brings up another behind. So North, they're kicking, letting them down a little at the moment. 6-10 they've kicked to Sandy Bay's 18-11. Kick out, plenty of distance in it, but it's not well placed, and the mark's taken there for North by Cusick. Cusick, ooh, the kick wasn't well placed, allow Davis in. Anderson shoots the hand pass straight over. Now the Bay are really, oh, a bit slow. I was going to say they're moving this ball well, yes. That will go against Paul Heary, and the free kick will be taken by Kerry McConnon. McConnon flanks it, and the mark's taken out there by Cusick. Cusick, staying on the outer side, bangs it down across his half-forward line. No mark taken. North desperately trying to keep that ball in their grasp through Darley. Whistle's gone, and it will see a bounce. So it's between the wing and half-forward line with North into attack, and gee, do they need goals. Looks like it's the end of the 84 season for their reserve side. There's a kick off the ground, and going through with Sutton again. He's been in a lot of play. Klein bangs it in towards goal. That's a better looking shot, and that's a goal off the boot of Klein. So North fighting it out now in this last quarter, but no doubt Sandy Bay would realise they have the match won. They'll go into the preliminary final. North 7-10, 52, trails Sandy Bay 18-11, 119.
That's the second goal from Tony Klein. He kicked one in the second quarter. He's had a good battle today in the ruck against his much more experienced opponents from Sandy Bay in Sherwood and Davis. The honours probably ending up even between the two sides in the rucking division. This is Davis now. Got the tap down, but coming away was Harris, looking for Sutton, who kicks off the ground. That was trying to set up Darley. He's almost controlled the ball, but recovering nicely to tackle his opponent and come away from that pack, but the whistle had sounded. A ball up on that outer wing. Coming down with it is Dillon, had nowhere to go. Has some support now from Pepper. Pepper's short kick to the outer side. No mark taken. That was Grace, but Dillon recovers nicely. Up over the half-forward line. From behind again, that was Howard, but it favours Sandy Bay. This is Crow. Grabbed very quickly. Lost the ball now. A chance for the Demons to come out of defence. There's the kick up towards the centre of the ground. Klein diving on it. Couldn't mark. That's let Claxton in. He handballs forward to no one in particular, straight to an opponent. In fact, it looks to be Maple coming forward with it in the centre of the ground. Now he has some support. There's the kick up over half forward into open space. Oh, beaten there for it. That lets Margits in. Margits drives up towards the half forward line, but straight to an opponent who couldn't mark anyway, and Heary has the chance to drive up towards the half forward line. From behind, that was Arnold spoiling Saunders. Saunders was too slow getting rid of that. But it will all come off for Sandy Bay as Grace drives up towards goal, just offline though. Grace has been a good player too, with 2 goals to his credit since coming on the ground from the interchange bench.
My word, that was good play from Chris Saunders too, because he got grabbed but still got that kick in. When he was falling, just kicked the ball through.
Here's another chance for Sandy Bay. The ball is sailing up towards full forward, but no one home for Sandy Bay. And North Hobart will clear again through Howard. Now it goes towards the outer side. Big pack of players there. That was Dillon trying to come in from the side of the pack. He couldn't mark. North Hobart now coming away with it. There's the handball out wide, looking for Darley on the wing. It's found that player. Darley will have to get around Farmer. He does that. Darley drives up towards half forward now, looking for Klein, and he's marked. Klein, an awkward looking kick, and it's gone straight to Margits. Margits doesn't know what to do. Looked very confused. Now he breaks away. Margits' kick is going towards the centre of the ground. It flies up now and bouncing towards the half-forward line for Newton there. Newton pulled off the ball there by Arnold. He has some support, though. This is Heary. Heary turns and flanks the ball, giving plenty of room there for Grace. Oh, he couldn't take the ball with him now. He's got it on the second attempt. Grace goes short and finds Martin. Martin drives up towards full forward. Dillon, the full forward, has taken that mark on the chest. He's probably about 35 to 40 metres out. Dillon, a player who in games recently has been a late bloomer. He has been going through the first half of games without any goals on the board mostly, and then coming good in the second half. That's no exception. That's straight through, and that is Dillon's third goal. 2 in the third term and 1 now in the final quarter.
This is the first semi-final in the Midas League. The winner going through to the preliminary final. They'll meet the winner or the loser of the match next week between Glenorchy and Clarence. And it certainly looks like Sandy Bay, and Sandy Bay must be in with a good chance. Very strong side they've got here in the reserves. Davis beaten for it. North trying to get it forward, but the Bay will go forward through Spalding. There it is, back to Spalding again. They're running the Bay. Saunders didn't mark it, but Carr recovered very quickly, put himself in a beautiful position to shoot for goal, but is well offline. It's out on the full, but that was great recovery there from Chris Saunders. He doesn't waste time in falling to the ground. If he can't mark, gives himself that second opportunity. McMurray missed it. Chance now for the Bay through Martin. In towards goal again. Off hands it comes. Howard. Oh, bumped out of it by Archer. Whistle's gone. Archer's down. And the ball may have gone out over the boundary line. It had. Archer thought he might have got the free kick. Not to be. Heary in front. Wins it. Chance now for the Bay as it's snapped in towards goal by Peter Crow. And Crow has put it through for a behind. What have we played? Coming up to the 20-minute mark is Shane Arnold. He has the job of minding Chris Saunders. Shane Arnold puts it back into play. Now the chance for North through Ricky Darley. But he carried the ball out over the boundary line for a throw-in. Crowd starting to build up here at North for probably what could be the best of the semi-finals. Now, the Bay going forward again. Saunders the target. Shane Arnold up behind. Spoils well, but Saunders nearly grabbed it in again. Howard trying to battle it out. Kicking it up there is Peter Crow in towards goal. He's kicked it. So, Crow putting the goal on the board, and that's his third goal. Peter Crow kicking 3 in a total of 20 for Sandy Bay. The Bay 2013, 133 to North Hobart, 7-10-52.
And that breaks a very dry spell for Peter Crow. His first 2 goals came very early in the first quarter. And he did shine very well in that first quarter. He stood out as perhaps Sandy Bay's best forward. There's the bounce taken in the centre by Whitford. Whitford turns and drives up towards the half-forward line. On the second attempt, the mark has been paid there to Eaton. Andrew Eaton on the half-back line. We'll send the ball right back up to the centre of the ground. Almost marked there by, looked like Fenton, but this is Margetts coming away. Margetts goes wide towards the outer wing. Almost a one-handed mark there taken, but recovered too nicely. And North Hobart going forward through Cusick now with it on the half-forward line. Gets around Farmer again. Cusick drives up towards full forward. Big pack of players there. No one went for the mark, though. Everyone tried to punch it away, and Loveluck, who waited behind, will do the clearing for Sandy Bay. He's had a long run, a couple of bounces. No pressure being applied at all. Gets the handball over to Coles, Jeff Coles, running around the wing position. He's dropped it, but still has time to recover. No pressure being applied at all. This is Grace, onto Anderson. Anderson finds a teammate too, that's Heary. Heary drives up over the half-forward line, looking now for Saunders, and he's taken that on the chest in front. Shane Arnold couldn't do anything to stop that. It was very well delivered. But Saunders goes across the ground and finds Whitford. So Whitford will be shooting for goal from straight in front, about 35 to 40 metres out. And if he can get this, it'll be his second for the match. He kicked 1 in the second quarter. Whitford, a player with a lot of senior games under his belt this season. Drives up towards goal, well offline. So Whitford still with just 1 goal, 1 is his total. Arnold will do the kicking out. He's played a good game at fullback. Despite Sandy Bay's very high score, it's not his fault that that's happened. He's really put in all day. This kick, though, has been taken by Newton. He centres the ball towards half forward, or a couple of Sandy Bay players spoiling each other. That will allow Eaton to break away from the pack. He has plenty of time for a run. Drives now up towards centre, almost intercepted there by Archer, but North still with it. The ball now being delivered up over half forward and marked by Martin. Martin turns, drives up towards full forward. The lead was on there from Garrity, but that kick didn't really get anywhere near him, and it's out over the line. Very close, though, to North Hobart's goal. North Hobart have only kicked 2 goals since the second quarter. Klein and Davis. From behind, Loveluck into the waiting arms there of Kim Harris. Interchange play, had a quick snapshot over his shoulder, but out on the full is the result. And Sandy Bay free once the ball is retrieved. 23 minutes gone. Definitely curtains for North Hobart in this season. This is Claxton on hands and knees trying to come away from the pack, and the whistle sounded. The umpire will sort it out. Half forward line, North Hobart into attack. Klein and Davis. Davis wins that one. Finds Pepper, who was grabbed very quickly, trying to come through his crow. Gets his hurried kick towards the outer wing, but only as far there as Darley, who has to watch it go out over the line again. Going back into play, and here's the change on. This is Timmy Brown coming back on the ground. Dillon with the ball as the umpire's whistle sound. What is the decision there? It's a Sandy Bay free going to Peter Davis. Davis is on the half-back line. He sends the ball around that outer side. Big pack of players. No one went for the mark, and McMurray was scouting that pack, but the boundary line was just too close. The ball is out of play in front of the Ryde Street stand, which is starting to fill up at this point of time.
From the throw-in now, and we're just coming into time on, so the Bay will go into the preliminary final. Noble takes the mark for North. Peter Noble now flanking it straight across ground, and the mark will be paid out there to Woolley. Woolley juggled that but held onto it long enough. Grace on the mark. Woolley not taking it, he's cramped, and so Noble moving over to take the kick. The short one goes to Cusick. Cusick drives down on towards the half-forward line. They fly. Loveluck up behind, pushing it down. North will get through McConnon. Coming out with it was Fenton, and the free kick going the Bay's way into Claxton. So Claxton, short one, and that'll find Crow. Crow straight on with play into the centre, looking for Coles. No, Noble coming out with it, but the umpire's going to bounce it, I think. From the bounce now, and here's Tony Whitford. Has a look all the time in the world, puts it out towards Archer, and Archer marks. Archer centres it, and that'll come off because it'll find Dillon. Dillon will get a 15-metre penalty. Player going pretty heavily into him there after he'd really taken the mark. And so Dillon now within scoring range. He'd be 35 metres out. Chris Saunders keeping that goal square pretty open as Dillon fires. That's good. Shane Dillon really sealing the issue now. He's kicked 4, and the Bay with a very big lead coming into time on. The Bay 21-14, 140 to North Hobart 7-10, 52. A very strong reserve side here for Sandy Bay today. Coming back on for North Hobart, it's Webster. As we go back to the centre bounce. Davis. Now the Bay are away through Crow. Saunders, Dillon. No one takes the mark, but it's well taken off the pack there for North. Out to Garrity. He can run. He's had a bounce. and now kicks down on towards the wing. No one really wanted it. Coming out with it is Spalding. Spalding with a hand pass. Was up looking for Anderson, but wide of that player, and it's out over the boundary line and will be thrown in. Here's the throw in. Dylan getting it down. Grace coming out with it. Now he's around as the siren goes to end this first semi-final in the Midas League, and a big win to Sandy Bay. Sandy Bay 21-14, 140, defeating North Hobart 7-10-52. So it's Sandy Bay to go through to the preliminary final, and they'll meet the loser of the second semi-final next week between Glenorchy and Clarence. Rod Hughes, a good match today. It was pretty even up to half-time, but then the experience of Sandy Bay certainly told.
Well, I think the advantage of having to...
Danaher with the ball, gets the first free kick. Now, he did get rid of the ball